Ever since I was little, I have been an unusual child. First, I was born into a shamanic family that has been helping people for 10 millennia. And, of course, there were lots of things that never surprised me. Like, for instance, the abilities that I had as a child when I could predict who would come to us or who was standing outside the door. I could guess the numbers that my grandparents had thought of. Of course, many different miracles happened. And in my childhood, I was brought up in a spiritual environment of helping people and developing my abilities. Of course, like in every child's life, there were moments of doubt, moments when I did not want to accept my mission in this world, because it seemed to me that I could have other interests, other goals. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go for walks. I just wanted to be like everyone else. I was very surprised in my childhood when, for example, I saw angels or spirits and told other children about what I saw. It seemed to me that they also had to see those, but their parents would look at me and say, "You're imagining these things. Such things can't be." And at some point, it also seemed to me that I'd really made everything up, and I did not possess these abilities. Just at that moment, my parents and I moved from my grandmother's apartment, who raised me in such a spiritual environment. But there was a moment of inner choice. When I was 14, as I was returning home, there was a severe thunderstorm, and it started to pour down heavily, a real rage of the elements. And then I saw how the power line fell down. The cable started sparking and fell into the water pooling from the rain, sparking all over the water too. It was like in some fantastic movie. At that moment, I felt that I had received an electric shock, and I passed out. I didn't remember anything that happened to me. From outside, I saw my body lying in the water and the electrical energy flashing. I saw people who could not come up to me shout, "Save the girl, save the child!" And I saw my soul rising above my body. I understood that some kind of light was pulling me. It was so dear, so familiar, that my soul aspired to it. And I flew up there and saw this wonderful light, which all people aspire to. The light that is beyond words. It is impossible to feel, to describe. It has to be seen. But I realized that it was something so dear, that I was something good, something I was much striving for. And this was the source of love. And at some point I stopped. I saw an angel who stood in front of me saying, "It's too early for you to go there. You have important things to do in this life. And first of all, you have to make the right choice." And I remember that it was so painful for me not being allowed to go to the light. That was the incredible power of unconditional love that I strive for here on earth. And at that moment, my body was suddenly pinned to the ground. And then I saw the ambulance workers and rescue teams attempting to save me. They were shouting, "She's not breathing. No pulse. She has no pulse." And it was like I was telling them, "I'm fine. I'm here. I'm here." I saw doctors in the hospital running around to me, connecting different devices to my body. I saw their emotions in detail. I saw everything. I saw how the doctors pronounced me dead. But just a few minutes later, some invisible force brought me back to my body again, and I felt such a heaviness of the physical body, as if I was wearing a spacesuit, that greatly limited me. There is such a big soul. There is such a great energy. There is such a big power of love inside you. and you have been put into something so small, so cramped, so uncomfortable, so painful. When my soul finally returned to my body, the doctors started running around and shouting, "She's back! She's back!" And I understood that God had brought me back for some important mission. Because of this situation, my grandmother immediately arrived. She had great shamanic powers. She helped me to recover. Literally within 5 days, I returned to the normal life of a child, and she said, "Look, you have to make the right choice for your soul. It is impossible to resist your mission." From that moment, I began to wonder why my soul had come to Earth. Of course, there were different moments and temptations by dark spirits and doubts. And when even close friends said, "Why do you need it? Why are you doing all this nonsense?" They did not take seriously the spiritual mission that I had in my life. It was difficult, but thanks to the support of my family, the support of my closest loved ones, I began to develop my abilities. After that electric shock, I started seeing people as though X-raying them. A man approached and I could see all his internal organs. I opened my X-ray vision and discovered a few more superpowers too, and a special sign appeared on the body. Perhaps I will tell you about it in more detail at a seminar and show it, because it is a special mystical sign that appears on the physical body in very rare cases only. And in fact, it's one thing when everyone keeps telling you since childhood, you have a big mission in life. It's impossible to immediately realize what you haven't felt. You resist. You think, what if this is not your mission? What if they are deceiving you? What if they want to take you away from your path, which you do not know about? And when you felt your mission completely, holistically with every cell of your being, then you will understand that you simply have no other way in life. This happened to me when I was in a special cave of power, where I performed meditations and very deep spiritual practices, where I fasted for 40 days and went through a very deep cleansing, and I communicated with the subtle world. And I was shown how women on earth suffer, how families suffer. When you are in communion with the spirits, you see all of the pain of women of the earth. When you see the spirits of traumas that haunt lineages, the spirits of the traumas of countries, it is impossible. It is so painful that you cannot remain indifferent. And at that moment, I felt my mission so strongly when the Spirit showed me that I had to find 3 million women, awaken their talents, awaken their purpose, awaken their spirit and their heart. And when we all unite, when they awaken their feminine power, only then is the revival of spiritual energy possible on earth. And I saw my mission to work with those spirits of trauma that haunt many different lineages. I will say right away, of course, that these are very strong spirits, and you need great inner strength to deal with them. And at that moment, I fully realized that there was no way back for me, that this was my destiny, and this was how I would live. Otherwise, there was absolutely no meaning on earth for my soul. I would just be frittering my time aimlessly. Perhaps God would come and take me away earlier than necessary so that I would not fulfill my mission in life. And then in the subtle world, I would look at how I missed this life of mine without helping other people. From that moment, the path of me spiritually helping people began. It's been more than 25 years since that time, but I still remember remember every moment of it. The images are so vivid. I see it very often in a dream when spirits come and show me, saying, look how many women are still suffering, how many women still need help, how many lineages are losing their vitality. Revive female energy, revive female power. And of course, along with this, the spirits gave me a special blessing to work with the spirits of trauma. There are special rituals that require courage to really see the spirit of trauma in the aura or on the ancestral tree and not be afraid, because if you get scared, it will take away all your personal power and you will have absolutely no energy to help people. For this, there are special amulets, special initiations, special places of power. I regularly go to places of power myself where I receive the energy of sacred places in order to help people. There are also special amulets of power. And when you understand your mission, you understand that nothing can lead you away from your goal, because you understand why your soul came into this world. I so sincerely wish every woman, every person on earth, to understand the mission with which they came to earth. When people come to me to discover their predestination in them, I see myself at the beginning of my journey, when I also doubted, when I also thought that maybe this was not true, that it was certainly not my path, it was definitely not for me, it could be for someone else, not for me. I see myself in these people and I want to get this straight and say, yes, it's you. Start doing it earlier. Start earlier so that there won't be any situations when God would have to wake you up the way He woke me up in my childhood. And I sincerely pray and help women at my seminars to gain their strength to believe in themselves. Yes, there are a lot of doubts. Dark spirits are trying to provoke you. For example, when you approach a person and you see some kind of situation, a difficult situation or difficult disease that doctors cannot heal, and dark spirits immediately fly up and start saying, oh look, you won't succeed, you won't make it. Your shamanic helper spirits, your shamanic ancestral power, the energy of Agartha, the sacred healing land, the energy of sages and spiritual teachers will help you. Only faith, only the power of love for people can annihilate the influence of the dark forces. I wish every man on earth, every person, every soul would realize their destiny so that they may find it. And if you don't know how, I'm waiting for you to show it to you so that I can teach you this. After all, this is my mission in life. I'm happy to share what I know with you.
You have gained new knowledge, and now it's time for you to become a ray of light to new people. Share this video with them. Invite them to become part of the field of love. Come with them to our classes and seminars. Help others, and God will help you.